Tonight, Phil and I are going to take you on a journey into the realm of ghosts, poltergeists and possession. So join us as we discuss all things ghostly. The creaking footsteps upstairs when you're home alone. Who's up there? The shadow figures that move around just out of sight, toying with you. The playful spirits who seem to enjoy messing with you, moving your possessions. The sinister figures who touch you, even scratch and torment you. Your loved ones calling out from beyond the grave. Carve those pumpkins, turn off all the lights, turn the volume up. It's David.
It's Phil.
This is the Two Guys, One Garage Halloween special. Happy Halloween. It's October 31st, 2014. And we're here presenting the show to you. Slightly different show. We hope this is more of a darker show, a more spooky show to go with the content. Halloween. Alright, Phil?
Indeed. That strange old time of year where the dead rise again.
Apparently.
That's what they thought back in the day, 3,000 years ago.
Yeah. Now, this show will be about local ghost stories. It will be about distant ghost stories. Personal ghost stories. And myself and Phil took a trip to Chillingham Castle. We'll also be reporting back on that. But for now, we'll start off by letting you hear the first part of that trip to Chillingham Castle. So, let's get to it. Well, good evening everybody. Here we are, Chillingham Castle, in the dark heart of Northumberland. It's me, it's David.
It's Phil.
And we have somebody with us. It's
Vic, hi.
So we're exploring Chillingham Castle. We're in the we're in the dungeon. Yeah. The original dungeon. Checking it out.
Pretty tight, pretty claustrophobic in here.
Feeling anything, Phil?
Probably horny.
You feeling horny? Yeah.
I'm not picking up much myself.
Vic, yourself?
Nothing really from in here. The last time it was dark when me and Phil were in here, we did pick up a horrible smell. But nothing. The air seems to be much lighter.
There was that weird door experience as well.
Yeah, the door movement, we caught that on video. I think it was a through draft, but it was still strange.
Yeah, it's still weird.
Yeah.
Especially for the part of the castle that it's in. Although I suppose you would say that no matter which room you're in, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But still.
I think we're all in the greens that if we came here at night time or when it was quieter, it would be a lot better. There's a lot of kids running around.
Yeah, scaring the spooks off.
Yeah. If there is any.
Yeah. Well, like I say, come back one day and find out.
Yeah. The door's moving again.
That isn't moving like a door would move at every.
That's creepy, isn't it?
Oh.
What? He's talking about somebody who's this.
Hey.
So the door's moving. We don't know why. There it is again. Stopped. Strange how it's periodical like that.
I know. Like the bloody dress. Upstairs.
Now I can feel a breeze coming.
Yeah, massive breeze.
So it's I don't think it's anything to sleep.
No. Damn it. I suppose people have lived here about 100 years though. So So there's things on top of things.
Yeah, but it's the only thing that...
Some of these things have definitely been just bought for the whole, the idea of the tit tatty look to it. You know, it's like these lantern cover things that are up here. I mean, they're from IKEA, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't think they're anything from a 13th century castle. And that ceramic boar head, it's not traditional.
From the Pottery Barn.
From the Pottery Barn. Big clock. I mean, they're from skis, aren't they?
Oh, check out them boots.
What, were they made in 1995 or something? Some ski boots, yeah. Oh, I don't know. They're from the 1990s. Top, yeah. An Everest t-shirt on the wall. Kind of takes away from the experience, but I suppose if it's a private house, then the family are putting these things up. It's their choice, isn't it? It's funny how the temperature has just dropped around the castle. But then again, look at the time of day, and certainly not going to read into it that it's anything ghostly. There's that door moving again. Now it's getting annoying. What are you feeling, Vic?
I just feel something.
Just to draw towards the picture.
Yeah, like I had it the first time I visited, didn't I? You were with us. Just had a massive draw towards this lady. I just want to know.
Funny, the more you look at her, the more like hypnotic it becomes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should have done this special with my Alan Robson voice on. Okay, we're here. In the dark heart of Chillingham. Will you listen to this in the darkness if you dare? Do you dare to do it? Because
All night thing with you.
she's been with Alan Robson before, has she?
Halloween thing.
Now, I'm locking you in this room. You're going to be alone, though. Okay, it's going to be okay. Phil's just touching the head of a gator. Is that fake?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Why is there a fake gator head there? Is that a gator or is that a crocodile? It's a gator, isn't it? See, the colour would say to me a crocodile, but I think it's a gator because of how broad the snout is. Off on a tangent there. I'm not talking about ghosts, talking about reptilians, but. A few of these stuffed animals have seen better days.
Chapel, yeah.
So we're going to head towards the chapel?
Chapel.
So we're going to head towards the chapel and we will see you on the next bit. Come back to us.
Okay, so that was one of our many trips that we'll take tonight into Chillingham Castle and the few hours that we spent there a few weeks back. So, if you haven't been to Chillingham Castle, let me give you some background, some quick background material. Chillingham Castle is in the village of Chillingham, which is up in the north of Northumberland. Nice up there, isn't it, Phil?
Beautiful. Drive up was very picturesque.
Very picturesque, but it's still quite creepy. It's, you know, the moors and the old forests, the trees.
I like the fact that the closer we got, how like the weather started changing.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it
Started
started
getting like gloomy and
a
bit misty.
Chillingham Castle, it's still in private hands as a castle. It hasn't been taken over by, you know, a national heritage or national trust. So I think that helps, you know, sort of maintain the integrity it has.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, but there was still a few things, wasn't there? Do you remember there was a few items that were like
out of place.
Out of place, yeah. They just there was like a fireplace then. It was like made of bloody polystone or something. It wasn't real.
Yeah, that was a bit of a letdown.
That was a bit of a letdown.
When you pointed that out, I was like, oh. Because it looked pretty good, looked pretty authentic to the eye. But
now, the nickname of Chillingham Castle is the home of the torturers, because there was a lot of Scottish troops apparently held there in the dungeons and killed in gruesome ways. And apparently there's a lot of bodies on site. There was a hanging tree. Well, there is a hanging tree there. The walk down to the main gate is called the Devil's Mile, and they used to let prisoners go there, and it was basically a case of how long they'd last before they got killed. They were shot with arrows. The villagers would stand alongside the path, which I assume would have been more of a slight dirt track back then. They would have probably hurled things at the Scots. And apparently the lake that's on site is a large lake to the rear of the property. That's apparently full of the bodies of the dead, Phil.
Really? What, just submerged?
Just put in there and left to be eaten by the water shrimp and everything else down there, just let nature take it back. Now, a few podcasts back, I don't know if anybody remembers, Ryan was on, and it was just myself and Ryan Ryan told us about a ghost story, one of the only ones he's got, because he's very skeptical, he's very focused, and although he's open-minded, he's not willing to jump to conclusions and say there's ghosts everywhere. But he told me a story which I found quite interesting from his childhood. So let's see what Ryan had to say about his ghostly encounter. I'd like to hear about any of your experiences. Have we ever? I mean, we've been friends for years and years. Have I ever asked you? Have you ever told me about any supernatural things that ever happened to you? I don't think so. And we're talking
Really, I'm sure I've told you this.
Okay.
Right, I was only young. Right, I was with my friends actually, who I used to knock about with, naming no names and no places. Right, it was an old school though. Right, we're in there for a reason, because I was in the Cubs.
Wasn't that the Cubs and the Badgers? Was the Badgers one?
Beavers. Everyone loves a beaver.
Everybody does love a beaver.
Dirty fuck.
My God. So come on, you are.
Yeah, I was in the Cubs. Yeah. So I must have been, I don't know what age that is, 10, 11, maybe 12?
I was never in a group like that, so I'm not sure.
I'm surprised, dude.
Deprived
I'm really
I know,
surprised,
but I kind of,
I got me home held badge by making beans on toast and ironing my own shit. But anyway, yeah, so was at the Cubs. It was like late one night, and they only used one room in this old school, to do the activities in and have your night or whatever.
Yeah.
And me and my mate were just, I don't know if we're going to look for our parents, or there seemed to be a lot of people around at the time, but I don't think there was. And we nicked off down a corridor somewhere. It's a really apparently haunted school. This place where I went.
Is this school in Bedlington?
No, it's not.
No.
It's in Cramlington.
Right.
Parkside School, if anyone's there.
Is that still there?
Getting knocked down currently.
Next to the village?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're in there.
Damn, should have explored there.
The cellar's meant to be really haunted. But anyway, right, forget. I saw this guy standing, right, and you're going to say, oh yeah, he's just a kid and he didn't realise, but I'm telling you, his eyes were red, right? Like, had a red glow to them, right? And he was standing in this hall in the far corner, staring at me and my mate, my friend who was with.
You can use first names.
Gareth, his name was.
Right.
Staring at me and Gareth. And he was just looking at me, standing there, leaning on, like, I assumed it was like a broom or something like that at the time. But I can remember asking, and then my mum said, no, there's no caretakers here after hours or anything like that. And he was just standing there, and he was dressed in, like, I can't really remember, maybe it was a shirt and pants or something. I'm just guessing. But he was definitely leaning on something, definitely had red eyes and just did not blink, just stared straight through her. And he had like a horrible, ghostly look about him. It was awful.
Really?
And we were really frightened. Like,
so what happened?
We just stared at him for a while, really, and we turned away, took and walked away, went back and he'd gone.
Wow.
And there was only one exit for to come out, was where we just were.
So it was a matter of seconds that you weren't looking at him, and then you looked back and he was gone. Yeah.
So basically, we looked at him, walked out the doors, turned back, and there he was gone. There was only one exit.
Yeah, it seems to me that you've had an encounter with Superman.
Superman.
With his laser eyes. Yeah.
Ah, right. That's what it is. Then all these years.
No, but that's funny, because that's often the way where people will turn away, look away, or briefly glance in a different direction, and they'll look back, and then the
the spirit or whatever they've seen is generally gone. You see it in films, TV. You see it in other
you know,
accounts.
I'm not a massive believer in all this shit, but that is me one experience where I say if I have seen a ghost, that is definitely where I've seen it, and like it wasn't just me on my own. My friends saw exactly the same thing as well, and you're gonna think, oh, it's a 12-year-old kid. You know, he doesn't know what he's looking at. I know what I saw. You know, I'm not stupid. And the fact that it sticks in my memory to this day, you know, what, 15 years ago, says to me that it was something.
I wish I'd had an experience like that. I don't think I've ever had anything like that in terms of a ghostly related sort of experience. I remember I had this dream this one time. I think it was a dream. It was when I lived at Holtwhistle. Big house, Victorian era house.
Yeah, it was a creepy house, that wasn't it?
Well, that house.
I thought it was creepy anyway when I
It
was
was apparently haunted by my brothers, Alex and Joe. They were young kids at the time.
Well, when I went to visit you there, they were just basically just born. No,
Well,
they're not just born, but like months old, not like.
They were born there, and I think when we left, I think they would have been about 7 or 8 when we actually left that house.
Yeah.
So I think it was around about maybe the age of, I don't know, it might be the whole time they were there, but Alex used to come out of his bedroom, which was next to mine, first floor. Mum, Dad and sister had a bedroom on the 3rd floor. And there wasn't one big room, it was 2 bedrooms. So Alex would run up the stairs, well, so would Joe, and they would see from down the corridor, according to them, there was like a miniature landing. You remember that? It was at the top of the first flight of stairs.
I can't really remember, but carry on anyway.
If you walked in through the front door, you went along a corridor.
Right.
You went up the stairs, there was a bathroom and an airing cupboard.
Right.
And then there was one step onto the landing which went towards their bedroom.
Okay, right, I can imagine it anyway.
And a cupboard under the stairs, my room and Ryan's room. Well, they used to come up there and they used to say that every night when they came out of that room, they would look to the left, in front of where the bathroom door was, and they'd see the figure of a man in a top hat.
In a top hat?
In a top hat. Ryan, when he was younger, he had an imaginary friend in that house, which was an old guy covered in like soot. Like,
right, okay.
You can imagine like a chimney sweep, so
Yeah.
dirt essentially.
Yeah.
That was meant to be the ghost of a dog because people had. I'm sure, I can't remember who said this, I'm sure it was one of my neighbours, they did experience like a ghostly dog. It used to be in Hannah's bedroom, you could hear it's like, it's nails on the floor. Ooh. Because they used to have an Alsatian and apparently it was buried in the garden. I mean, my grandma were re-turfing the garden at one point and we came across like a hollow sounding object in the ground. We didn't keep digging, but we think that's where the dog was because we hit like hollow earth.
In like a casket or something.
In like
a doggy casket.
So, Ryan, my younger brother, not the Ryan that's with me now, Ryan, he's had an imaginary friend, or a couple. I used to hear noises in that house. Alex and Joe said they'd seen things. I'm sure my mum and my sister felt funny in the house. But in terms of this dream, it was probably just a dream. I fell asleep really late one night. Must have been about 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I seemingly woke up. I don't know if I was actually awake or if it was a dream or lucid dreaming or what. But I could hear the sound of kids laughing. Ooh. Like really creepy kids laughing.
Didn't like that at all. Oh.
Okay.
Go on.
And in my head, where they were laughing was the bottom of the stairs, just near the front door, like on the near the living room. But then I heard this really loud banging, like bang, 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 bang. As that was banging, the noise of the kids laughing was getting closer, as if they were coming up the stairs.
Oh God!
And then eventually along the corridor, and I just remember sort of shutting my eyes and facing the wall. And then the laughing got so loud, it's like creepy, like the creepy laughing of children. And until at the point it was right in my ear.
Oh,
and it's
God.
like, and they were behind us and they were touching us and they pulled us off the bed and I didn't open my eyes at all. And they were grabbing at us and things and I was trying to scream but nothing was coming out.
I hate that.
It was terrifying, it was horrible. And then I just remember waking up in my bed and I thought, was that a dream or did I just crawl back into bed then wake up? It was really strange. It was the only like experience I've had like that, like a sleep sort of
where you've really thought
terror.
It was like a sort of supernatural.
It was
type.
fucking awful.
Oh God.
That's meant to be the most pleasant thing in the world, isn't it? The noise of children's laughter. But when it's creepy children's laughter, it's the opposite.
When it's in a horrible old house and you hear them down your stairs and there's no kids.
It's awful. My mum had an experience when she lived at... Well, no, it's not just my mum. That was my mum. It was my sister. It was Alex and Joe again.
Was it?
There was a dark figure that used to roam the...
Apparently more people are susceptible, apparently, susceptible to spirits and things like that. If you believe in that sort of thing, by the way, these are not our opinions. We're just sort of, a brainstorm here. But yeah, apparently certain people are more, like, mediums and things like that. That's where mediums come from, because more people are susceptible to spirits coming in and trying to talk to them and stuff like that.
I'll get on to that point of mediums in a minute, and we'll talk about our favourite medium of all time.
Oh, God.
Derek
I'm not going to...
Nicola.
Oh, this guy is brilliant.
But at this house in Hexham, there was the landing, and Alex and Joe used to, on a night, be scared to go to bed because there was this thing walking in front of that door.
Oh, we're talking about the Haltwhistle house?
No, we're talking about Hexham.
Hexham now, yeah? Okay.
They used to see this dark figure walking around at night, and my mum felt like she was being pushed down in bed one night by a dark figure. She woke up one night, and by the side of her bed there was a dark figure. She had a vision of a face coming out of her wardrobe, because it was like an open wardrobe, and like the clothes, this face was coming out the clothes. My sister had an experience when she stayed there with her boyfriend at the time, whereby she seen this dark figure, and again she felt like she was being held down. And it was creepy. It was creepy, but I've never had anything like that. But my sister, she's heard people say her name and things like that.
There's talking about my family. My mum's always thought that, believed in that type of thing anyway. Mm-hmm. She's always thought that, I don't know how to describe it properly. Like, not that spirits come to her, but there's been, if there's spirits around, she can kind of sense them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been sort of like too keen on that type of thing, because I find it a bit creepy. But she's had experience of like when she's went to see mediums after that, saying like, oh, when you've got the feeling of like people around you, it's just the little boy just wants to get into bed with you, that type of thing. And like my mum's like, what? Do you know what I mean? So she's never had. I don't suppose she's ever had an experience of something like that happening. But that's the only time she's ever, little boy trying to get into bed with you.
That's really freaky.
Not my cup of tea. Like, sorry.
Okay, so I think it's time that we took another trip back to Chillingham Castle.
Let's go there.
Should we go back for the next segment?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay, by the power of Alan Robson, let's get stuck into it then, okay? Night owls, I'm coming for you. Let's go. Okay, so you join us back in Chillingham Castle. Me and Phil just climbing the floors. Past Oscar Pistorius' legs, it looks like. Some fake shins. Cold, isn't it, Phil?
It's cold.
Is that because it's a cold autumn day, or there's spirits about?
Good question. I'm going to postulate that it's probably just because it's absolutely fucking freezing.
It is cold. Right.
Is it moving again?
It's
Not anymore.
not moving anymore. So the dress that was seen moving earlier isn't moving anymore. Interesting. Has the breeze stopped? Wind's died down outside, so maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe the ghost doesn't want our attention anymore. This is someone's bedroom, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's quite a nice bedroom.
I wouldn't want to sleep in it.
What do you know? Oh, I like it, mate.
There's a bottle of water by the side of the bed.
For the spirits. It's plainly a woman's bedroom.
Do you know the great thing about this is now that the a lot of the guests have kind of disappeared or they're teetering off, it's a lot quieter. I'm getting more of an atmosphere here.
Yeah.
There's a much better vibe in the hours, and there's not many people. You feel so much more when you hear so much more.
Well, it's just because you're just naturally tuned in that other humans are there.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by people.
Let's be quiet for a second. You still hear people outside, but
I've heard someone coming from in there.
yeah, like a rustling.
Uh-huh.
I heard that. Should I do what they do in Most Haunted? Is there anybody there? That sort of shit. There's anybody there? Make a noise. That dress is moving again. See it?
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't moving before. And there's that noise in the room.
The rustling.
Who's in there?
Some dude comes over. Sorry, son, I was just taking a shit. Oh, sorry.
There's people coming. Let's go.
Blowing again.
Is it? Do you think it's too regular to be anything paranormal? I think it's draft.
Look at the window.
Let's have a look. Yeah.
That seemed like a breeze, but before, wait, it was as if the curtain was like being lifted from the back.
Huh?
But then now you're just trying to look for things that aren't actually there.
Yeah.
You know?
Try and read into things.
Because in this like circumstance, the tiniest little thing becomes evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
It's a ghost.
What was that?
But I suppose the question is, why are people sensing and feeling and hearing and seeing so many things in this particular castle?
Mm-hmm.
Why here? What is it about this place that's doing it? Is it because possibly it's not been adapted to suit our current standard of living, in the sense that it's not like the houses we're used to living in. It's not been done up to suit all weathers. It's still old fashioned.
Yeah,
It's got old sash windows. You know, it's not weatherproof, so therefore the elements are going to get in. They'll be damp, causing cold.
It's just not quite enough, though, is it?
Not really. It's funny though as well, because skeptics say, "Oh, well, you're too skeptical. You're never going to see something." Yes, but if you're too much of a believer, anything you experience, you're going to instantly put down as ghosts.
Exactly.
Which, let's face it, 9.5 times out of 10, that's not the way.
Yeah. That's why I respect the scientific approach of just like actually trying to experiment, test hypotheses.
Yeah.
You know, seeing if you can recreate those conditions and get the same results.
Should I take a few flash photos in here, see if I can get any orbs or anything like that? So we're in the chapel again, and it's nice to be in an old castle, something with so much history. The room is full of bits and bobs. There's flags hanging from the wooden ceiling. There's a strange looking Jesus Christ figure crucified on the back wall in an alcove. There are wax candles lying about, and what do you call these things again? Candlesticks.
I thought it was a trick question.
There's candlesticks kicking about. What's that? Like a plinth for holy water?
Can I get baptised?
I baptised. I am christened, despite the fact I have no religious belief. There's a small room off of the main chapel, which is full of pipes, but it looks like an old staircase. Again with a big candlestick holder. It's not particularly scary.
So I think she wants to check out that room again that we were recording before.
Do you want to go back to the bedroom with the dress?
The one upstairs?
With the...
From there?
Oh, Edward's. The Edward room. Okay.
I'm so calm now. I want to see if it has a lot, like...
Right. Back to the Edwards room. Okay, so as we record this, I'm sat here eating a Halloween festive cake.
A little cupcake.
A little cupcake, which makes me think, Phil.
What's make you think?
Commercialism.
Yeah.
Halloween is rife with commercialism. The idea, the whole trick or treat. I mean, that's obviously got Gaelic, I think, origins, the trick or treat thing.
Mm-hmm.
But these days, it's all about, give me cash, motherfucker.
Well, it's like everything else, isn't it? Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Easter. Welcome to a fucking capitalist society. How about making money out of this? You know what I mean?
Totally.
But was it nice? Did you enjoy it at the very least?
I really did enjoy it.
And that's why capitalism works.
Exactly, because people lap it up. They lap it up. So it's strange, isn't it, how these sort of folklorish origins of Halloween and what Samhain? How was it the original?
I've got no idea how you pronounce that word. You should have just fucking picked a way of saying it and just went with it. Everyone else would have believed it.
I can't remember how you say the original name for Halloween. I think it's Samhain. But anyway, so how you've got this ancient sort of tradition and the idea of All Hallows Eve, symbolism of the jack-o'-lanterns, Celtic harvest festivals, and pagan roots, and how that's turned into the more typical festive Halloween activities like trick or treating. Mm-hmm. Which I think exploded in terms of people dressing up in the 60s and 70s in America, and things got pretty bad because people actually started getting hurt. The people started getting hurt on Halloween. People started doing damage to people's property.
Yeah,
and then it died down quite a bit, and now it's kind of back.
Actual tricks.
Actual tricks.
Yeah.
Trick or treat, motherfucker. And now it's all changed, and I think in this country it's kind of, maybe it's because I'm older, but I think Halloween's kind of dying down a bit now.
It definitely seems like that.
It does seem like it's dying down. In America, it's explosive. I mean, people go balls to the wall with Halloween in America. They deck the full houses up. I remember watching a documentary about these neighbours who every year they put on like a haunted house style attraction at the house that you can walk through. It wasn't in the house. It was this whole separate thing, and they'd invested thousands in it to have the best one. It was like competitive. So whose house would be the best to go trick or treating to when they've got all these mechanical sort of
in their actual house?
Not in the house, like on the outside. It was kind of like, if you could imagine.
Oh, right. So
like it was built outside of the house. You'd walk through it like a maze that would be set up like a haunted house sort of thing, but it wasn't actually in their house. But it was just amazing to see how competitive it is, and I think in America they get away with that because everybody seems to have such big personalities. Everybody's a bit mad. Over here, a bit more reserved. Old people over here at Halloween, generally, a large percentage of them hate it. Not getting the door. If people just ignore the door.
Bloody trick-or-treaters!
I like your house, mister. It's people just don't play ball, and it's just.
But the thing is,
it's funny how the culture has changed.
I think kids here aren't aware of what they're actually saying when they're saying trick-or-treat. I don't think they're aware of the freedom that they have to actually play a fucking trick. Because you don't see that much egging. Or that much, what are the TPing toilet paper. So why does that happen here?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it's just, I think today it's just like...
Over here, people get egged, don't they?
Yeah, for English kids, so it's just like, trick or treat. Oh, we didn't get a treat, so let's fuck off to the next house.
But do you know what always disappointed me when I was a kid, doing trick or treating? And I didn't do much of it because I didn't like it. Just knocking on people's doors and things. But over here, you generally, or you used to when I was a kid, get cash. Mm-hmm. I didn't get big bags of sweets like you see in America. These kids all coming home with huge collections of sweets and that. I used to get like 2 pences and pennies and 5 pences and...
What, you didn't get many sweets?
It was half and half, it was like money and sweets.
Yeah, that's quite a whole lot, that though. Like, you get half sweets and half dosh, that's the perfect fucking yield, that, as far as I'm concerned. Yes, sweets and...
Money with a sweet treat. Yeah, boy. But... I don't know, I love the idea behind Halloween though. I love the whole, the gothic look of it and the kind of that supernatural like vibe to it. I mean, even if you don't believe in ghosts, which, I'm still on the fence for it. Mm-hmm. It's I still like the iconography of Halloween.
Yeah.
The jack-o'-lanterns, You know, the cobwebs, spiders, witches, ghosts, all that kind of
Just
thing.
that macabre feel that the house
Yeah.
to it, like, yeah.
I've got a big interest in, you know, like the symbolism of folklore, and I think it's really interesting the way people used to perceive things back in the day, and the burning of witches, for example. I mean, that was insane.
Yeah.
People used to get burnt at the stake for nothing. You know, people used to get dunked and killed for nothing.
What kind of things was it that they were like would show though that would indicate that they were potentially a witch? What kind of shit could you do that people would be like, whoa? But like, I honestly like magic tricks, you know,
If
like
you had a black cat,
just lift what that was enough for them to be like.
that was one of the things. If you had a black cat, you'd be classed as a witch.
Is this like in America?
No, this is over here. This is that obviously in America they have the Salem witch trials, but over here,
Witch trials, I love that. So you mean to tell me you ain't no witch? Yeah, you have a black cat. How do you explain that? Guilty.
but over here we have the Witchfinder General.
The witch finder general.
Yeah, he went around the country basically, you know, deciding who was a witch and who wasn't. Basically, I think it was kind of like a power thing. He obviously took his power too far, like a lot of people in power do. He was called Matthew Hopkins.
Were witches solely female back then, like in their eyes, or could a male be a witch?
You could get male witches, but it was generally females. I mean, if your neighbour was jealous of you, she could accuse you of being a witch.
Fuck.
And with no questions asked, you can get carted off. And how do you prove you're not a witch? You don't drown. Well, how the fuck are you not going to drown?
Yeah.
You didn't drown, now you're going to burn. So it's... That's
So
scary how you do it.
if they drowned, it was proof that they weren't a witch. Poor Peggy there, she had to die for our fucking sins.
They used to do these trials, and obviously, like it was called dunking, and if you were dunked for however long in the water and you survived, you would get burnt, but at the stake. No, sorry, that would prove that you weren't a witch. That would prove that you weren't a witch, but obviously nobody survived because you can't stay in the water for that long.
I thought it was if they survived, that'd be like, you stupid whore, you're blatantly a witch.
Oh, I might be wrong.
And then if they died, it was just like, oops, she wasn't, because she would have used her witch powers to live. She didn't have any.
That could be the one.
Now she's dead.
I mean,
Shit.
there was so many ways of you possibly being a witch.
Yeah.
For example, you could have a mole, a
Oh,
birthmark, or an extra nipple or an extra breast, you know, things like that. Visible marks on your skin like that, like I said, the black cat thing, which is a witch's familiar, which is that's what they called them. Black cats, they were like a witch's familiar. And apparently, yeah, it would drink the witch's blood.
Well, the cat was supposedly drawing the blood of a witch.
Yeah.
What, the witch that was its owner?
Yes.
What, so the witch would willingly just, in theory, like
Apparently.
feed the...
It was probably a load of rubbish.
So some kind of like vampire element to it there.
Yeah,
That's
sort of,
kinda
yeah.
Mad. Weird. Idiots.
Idiots.
Back then, weren't they? I mean, they were. I mean, they're just as dumb now, like, just in different ways.
Yes. Yeah. It's
ISIS.
IS.
Yeah, IS.
That's what they call them now, isn't it?
Islamic State, ISIL, Daesh.
Daesh.
Fucking loads of different names. Idiots. I can't stop watching documentaries about them. But that's a different subject.
So let's take another trip back to Chillingham Castle, and let's see how we got on. Okay, so we're back in Eddie's room, Edward's room, the three of us.
After a cleansing in the chapel.
After a cleansing in the chapel, we're back in the room at the top, next to the rooftop. What are you feeling in here, Vic?
Just dread again. It's awful, and like my arms are really sore. That's why when I've looked there, I was just trying to guess. But as a woman, I feel dread. So I was thinking maybe some women attacked, held, and brought out or something. It's horrible.
Phil?
Well, it's no secret that back in the day, women weren't really held in such a high regard as to think it was the right thing not to touch them, whether they wanted it or not. So it wouldn't surprise me if some crazy, horrible shit had happened. Yeah, we're talking rapes.
Yeah.
What else?
Let's see if we can hear anything.
Just hear the wind howling through.
The occasional fly.
Yeah, stuck in the window.
Honestly, just feel normal in this room. I feel like I'm gonna cry. It's horrible. It's horrible. It restricts your whole body. It's like you're being crushed from the inside.
I wish I could feel them sorts of like conditions. I wish I could had that sense. Ooh, it's cold over here. Shit. Come over, Phil. Around the throne chair. You feel that there or not? Not really.
Be lying if I said, yeah, I've got a big thick jacket on.
You have. Just sitting in the throne, Game of Thrones style. That is not an ancient crown. That's made of plastic. Yeah, you just had a draft. Yeah, me and Phil were in here 15 minutes ago, and he felt like a hot breeze over by the chest. I don't know. It looks like it's got like that sort of boudoir look about it, but whether they've changed what's in the room, you know, I mean, maybe the way the rooms are laid out now isn't how they used to be. There's a large gallery area above, isn't there? Well, I think this is. I've just realised I've got a plastic crown on my head. I think this is. To me, it makes sense that it would be the sort of area where you could have a meeting because of the chair, the alcove, and this upper gallery area where people could look down. Maybe decisions were made in here. Maybe it was distorted. Well, I felt cooled in this area because it's definitely cooler than over there.
It's not around. It's just little blocks of cold. Did the lighting just change there?
Yeah,
Still?
it's the sun, I think.
Oh,
Got behind the clouds. Let's just be quiet for a second because it's gone really quiet. Should we shout out, see if there's anybody there? Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I sometimes talk to people and I simply was alone when I'm by myself and it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wait, is anybody here? Have a say.
That was me, by the way. Tap back. In my head I'm thinking, why would a ghost tap, but I'm here. But we'll see. Is this your room?
If that figure over there with the armour on just moved slightly, he's fucking balled out that top at light speed. Well, if you looked and his arm was just like starting to reach to the sword. But he didn't say moving, and then when you turn back, his arm was like closer to the sword. I'm feeling quite threatened by that. I was going to hit as if I punched the metal.
Come on, is there anybody here? In the words of Alan Robson, we want to talk to you. Maybe we should try and provoke and just say like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts.
There's no such thing as history.
There's no such thing as history.
The only thing that's ever existed is the world from when I was born onwards.
The only existence in time is now. So you guys don't mean fuck all.
The castle's shit, mate.
You really don't like this room then, Vic? I've just got a cool breeze to my right hand side there, like. Across my leg. It's still there now.
There's a breeze because that thread's put on its shit. Whoa. What?
What? Was that me?
Look.
What?
There's a bottom moving.
That was me on the table.
Oh,
I didn't do it on purpose. I did just feel a breeze. Now, why would there be a breeze coming from here? Is there anything to cause a breeze? Or if there's nothing else moving around here. There's no, these curtains aren't moving.
Oh, that's so disappointing. That.
No.
That was you moving.
I'm sorry.
I know that from men.
You see that better do it.
Really,
To let me just go along with it.
I know, I couldn't have done that. Couldn't have done that. Come on. I've just felt a breeze. Is there someone there?
it's not even like a bruise on the floor. It's like mid-level, isn't it? It's just a bit clumsy.
I can feel it now.
You just felt it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, that for a fact is like moving in the breeze.
Yeah, it's not.
But let's be fair, not far from here is an open door.
True.
Upstairs.
Let's be realistic. I do feel like the temperature's gone right down.
I think that's all
It's not. It's here. It's this section here, and the temperature's gone down from when I first went over there. Question is why, and why is it not cooler over there? I can feel a slight bit of warmth here. Over here, cooler.
what took place there. That's why I'm saying this is all better. Gallery.
It doesn't even need to be a bed to have been a rape or anything, does there? Really?
I think there's been a rape up there.
I mean, that's a massive conclusion jumping to the idea of a rape, but like Phil said,
Red and the arm hurts.
yeah, you've got this feeling where your arm hurts, and you've been over there for a while. Walk over here, Phil, and tell us if you think it's cooler. Put your hands out so you can see if you can feel anything.
Yeah, tell us, but not.
You can't feel nothing.
I have had that experience though, where there's a pocket of like cool air,
Yeah.
but I kind of feel like that's probably like a scientific reason as to why that's good. You're dealing with a massive structure. The room's huge.
Yeah,
There's loads of open doors.
that's very true. Something to think about.
So, Phil, how would you describe the experience at Chillingham Castle overall?
Well, it was interesting,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But was it interesting because I personally picked up on anything? No, I can't say it was. But it was interesting just to see, like, just to be inside of a building that is hundreds of years old. And just to start a bit, like, just to think, like, oh yeah, humans have existed hundreds of years ago, and they had the ability to actually make stuff. You know what I mean? It wasn't like hunter-gatherers to, like, Windows 95. You know what I mean? It was like, no, hunter-gatherers to agriculture to, like, making shelters and stuff like that. And, you know, this, like, slow process, but, like, knowing that even hundreds of years ago, they still had, like, amazing structures, the ability to make amazing structures. And that to me was, like, the big draw. I was like, wow, this is class just based on that alone. The fact that people actually died on this.
Yeah,
Like,
a lot of people died there.
yeah, like, loads of people were, like, yeah, it's just
So,
weird, I think.
did you leave Chillingham Castle feeling any different about your thoughts on the idea of ghosts?
Truthfully, no, I didn't. No, I'm still, like, pretty open-minded on that one. As I've said before, more on the skeptical side of the fence, but pretty open-minded, and would love to experience
Oh yeah, much
or
as staying
hear of
over.
an experience that would sort of help sway us into believing that, yeah, that's the real possibility. But as of yet, there's not enough to go on.
Yeah.
Not enough for me. Oh, that's the later. No.
So, I really enjoyed the day, and my thoughts on the paranormal are still out there, and nothing's concrete to me, but who knows, it's Halloween, something could go bump in the night tonight.
Well, yeah.
Tonight could be the night.
Well, that's it. You never know. That's the thing.
You never know.
There's plenty of, as
Yeah.
I've said before, plenty of anecdotal evidence out there to suggest that there is something else, you know, that perhaps lives alongside us.
Could be, yeah, could do.
Um,
Well, we hope you've
Well, that's
enjoyed
good,
this Halloween special. Yeah, so we'd love to know what you think about it, and if you believe in ghosts, what you've experienced.
Well, let me know.
Let me know, yeah.
Come and chip in.
Now, remember, when you go to bed tonight, just double check there's nothing in your room with you. Because you never know. Something could be lurking in the corner.
Well, that's it. And be careful when you go to sleep. Make sure you don't get sleep paralysis.
Oh.
Where you're lying there, awake, but your body's like still asleep and you can't move.
Yeah.
The old hag.
The old hag.
Don't let that get you.
Well, this has been David.
That's been Phil.
And this has been the Two Guys One Garage Halloween special. Sleep tight.
Ha